So you would start. So you would start as a Muslim if you don't have a college degree.
How many people study
Very
here?
good job.
Big old tanker out there. So the hour draws near. We're about to head to the airport. Check out and all of that. Looks like a wedding or something down there. Some sort of banquet. We went to Pearl Harbor. I took a little video, but when we got to the Arizona Memorial, I didn't take any video. I only took a couple photos. I'll post one of them. Was real respectful there. Took my hat off and everything. It is a war grave, a war cemetery. So very respectful and quiet while we were there. It was real neat to see. We almost didn't get to do that. We got in a standby line as soon as we got to Pearl Harbor Visitor Center, and we were able to get there right as we got off the that submarine tour, self-guided submarine tour. That was really glad to see. That was the one thing I was really going to be bummed that we didn't see. Anyway, it's about time to head back home. Hold up, that boat down there. That was the boat that took us on the sunset tour. Anyway, we both had fun in Hawaii. We're both incredibly sad to be leaving. We both want to come back one day, however that's going to happen. This was a real fun time. Real bittersweet to be kind of going home and going back to our normal lives, though. And it's kind of like this real somber feeling there. We got to the memorial. It was like right after a lunch break because there was no one else on the memorial. We were like the first ones on after some break. And the boat's still there underwater. You know, like you can kind of see through the waves, the gentle waves. Talking to the blog, yeah.
Okay, I know what you're doing.
Oh, also, you can kind of see through the waves, and you can see the outline and the edges of the boat. And they've got a buoy at each end to see how long the boat is, from the back of the boat to the tip of the boat. And I guess it was tipped on both sides. It was a battleship. And it's still there, and parts of it sticking out of the water. And you look under the water, and you can see it. And you can see the outlines. This huge ship that is still there that got sunk in the Pearl Harbor attack in the 40s, the early 40s. So it's just been there this whole time. It's kind of sombering. It's a war grave. And, there's still dead bodies in there, and there's a wall of people who died, in memoriam of people who died there, and then a new kind of in memoriam of people who were cremated and one of their ashes there. It's just all there. It's, throughout that bay port, there's like 5 or 6 other markers where other ships were sunk. But the Arizona was the big one there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the big ones there. It was neat to see. I'm glad I got to see it because we almost didn't get to go see it. We were going to Pearl Harbor regardless, but we almost didn't get to see Arizona. It's just kind of real somber and real humbling. It's still there. The Arizona's still there in the water. And we're home. For a rough 5.5 hour flight to Las Vegas from Hawaii for the layover. Completely full flight, so we weren't fortunate enough to, flying there, we were fortunate enough that we didn't have someone sitting in between us, but that was not an option this time. So she likes the window, and I was not going to have someone sitting in between us, so I was crammed in the middle, and that was just not a comfortable flight. Managed to sleep through about half of it, but it still was just waking up every 10 minutes to readjust my legs or set up straight or something like that. Las Vegas Airport looks exactly like you would think Vegas airport in Las Vegas to look like. Think about it. When you step off a plane, what do you think the airport in Las Vegas would look like on the inside? Because it's video slot machines everywhere in the concourse, all along every wall, every hallway. Just tacky and gaudy. I'm not a big fan of Las Vegas. I have no desire to really ever do anything there. I'm not a casino guy, not a gambler. I hate betting. I hate people. I think sports betting is ruining people's enjoyment of sports. I hate it. It's stupid. Gambling is stupid. Las Vegas to Dallas, we were fortunate enough to not have someone sitting between us. I pretended to actually be asleep. And I think she actually fell asleep. And then my pretending actually became reality as I fell asleep before the plane started moving, and they had to wake me up to tell me to kick my backpack further under the seat. So I had actually fallen asleep. Slept for maybe about half of that flight too. I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track. Anyway, we're home. No problems. No traffic problems. Just... we both really miss Hawaii now. Now I'm going to pick up some chips and salsa, and we're just kind of back to our normal everyday lives now. That's part of vacation, though. It's got to end sometime. You got to get back to reality. I need to trim my beard today, probably. It's starting to look like Danny from the Game Grumps. It is April 19th on a Saturday, 2025. Tomorrow is Easter. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. Mavericks got eliminated from the play-in tournament and thus missed the playoffs after being in the finals last year. And I'm going to take just a little bit to reflect on the nightmare season this has been and how hard it is to be a Mavericks fan right now. Of course, the Luka trade, awful. The owner, the current majority owners of the Mavericks don't know anything about basketball, so they rely on Nico Harrison to do it, and then he also apparently doesn't know anything about basketball, so they need to get him out of there. Fire Nico. Sell the team. If you don't know anything about basketball, sell the team. At least Mark Cuban knew stuff about basketball. The Luka trade, injury after injury after injury. I was at the game that Derek Lively got hurt. Injury after injury after injury after heartbreaking injury. Kyrie Irving, after putting the team on his back and at least keeping them with a winning record after the Luka trade, goes down injured. Dang, Anthony Davis got injured again on an air ball throw last night. It's just been a hard season. And a lot of it is Office, and a lot of it is Nico. And, what is his name? Patrick Dumont, I think, and the Adelsons. It's not good, and I'm getting very Seattle Supersonic vibes out of it. And I'm really starting to talk myself into this idea that this was done and everything they're doing is to move the team out of Dallas. and into Las Vegas. And because he wants casinos, and I'm gonna be real honest, when we stepped off that plane for our transfer in Las Vegas, and the first thing I saw was video slot machines, I was real depressed. I was like, man, right here. And then I was like, it was a depressing place to be. I was like, because I hate gambling so much. And it's like, I don't understand why it was depressing. And they want to take my team and move it to Las Vegas so they can have that. No, I'm not okay with that. I don't like that. So I've been on the fence about it. Here's my declaration. If Dumont or Patrick, whatever his name is, and Adelson's, if they move that team to Las Vegas, I'm out. I can't do that. I can't support that. They stay the Mavericks, well, they can stay the Mavericks, but I imagine they'll rename the team, as is what happens when a team normally moves cities. I don't know what they'll call them, something Vegas related. I'm sure the horse jockeys or something stupid like that. And I'm gonna be like the Seattle fans are, just waiting 20 years for a team to come back, or a basketball team to come back to their city. Not happy about it. Always be a Mavericks fan. And if they switch, I won't be a fan of them anymore. I'll always be a fan of the good old days. Let's just say that. I'll always be a fan of the good old days. I'll still wear shirts, my hats, all that. But if they leave Dallas, I can't support that anymore. And here's what it's got me doing. This is the real surprise, if you know me. Lifelong Lakers haters. I actually want the Lakers to win the championship this year. Even if that gives LeBron another ring, I don't care. I actually want the Lakers to win the championship this year. Even if they go up against Boston. Boston's like my third favorite NBA team. Even if they go up against Boston, I want the Lakers to win. Just because I want Luka to have a ring. And I want the owners of the Mavericks to look and see like, hey, Nico, you told us we needed to get rid of this guy. He just went and won a ring. What's up with that? And then they fire Nico. It'll be a glorious day in Dallas. And maybe that'll turn things around, at least start getting the ship headed in the right direction a little bit. Only reason I really want the Lakers to win. I want Luka to get his first ring, and then I want them to see like, oh, hey, this was a mistake. We should fire the guy who told us to do this. Hey, Nico, you're fired. And Nico Harrison's not going to be able to get a job anywhere ever again. Hello, it is April 20, 2025 on a Sunday. It is Easter 20. It is Easter Sunday. Easter 20. It's also 420, although I do not partake, because there's no high like the Most High. Happy Easter, everybody. Headed to McDonald's real quick to get Amanda some dinner. I'm watching WrestleMania tonight. And again, I could wax poetic on wrestling for hours on end. Amanda and I went to church this morning, and we did not have our Sunday morning Connect group this morning to help accommodate the larger crowds. Those were canceled across the entire campus this morning. There were a lot of people this morning. We went, and then we went to her parents' house. My parents came over. We had a nice, real big lunch together, and my parents jetted out, and I fell asleep on the couch inadvertently for 2 hours. I guess I needed the rest. I don't know. Anyway, picking up dinner, and I'm going to go home and watch some more WrestleMania. Well, good morning. It is Monday, April 28th, and I realize that's probably quite a large gap from the last installation. I was already kind of getting out of the habit of recording anyway, and then we went to Hawaii. And as you've seen, I recorded stuff in Hawaii, but I really just wanted to enjoy the time with my wife, so I didn't do a whole lot of recording. And honestly, as of this shooting, I'm kind of dragging my feet editing that. I need to get that. I don't want this to get away from me. It is something I like to do. I just kind of let it get away from me. So I need to get back on it. So I'm going to endeavor to return to my old schedule today of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to shoot something that's not just me driving home from work every day. So Monday morning, I'm off today, had to work yesterday. It's about 7:30. I'm on a walk, feels good, a little cloudy, like it might rain, I don't know. I'm also gonna start my daily walks again. Get back to training for that 5K I want to do next year. And also, if you remember old vlogs, I said there was something else I also wanted to get healthy for. If you saw the Easter egg in, I think it was the end of the Disney video, you see what that was. Amanda's pregnant. So that has made me want to kind of get my body in shape and get in shape, lose weight, feel good, get my joints feeling good and everything, so that I can play around with my kid and just not be on pain all the time, you know, in ways that aren't just like me laying on the floor and rolling around with him. So I can get up and play in the backyard and stuff with my kid. So that has given me the inspiration to get in shape. I just had to get back out and do it. So daily walks, no matter what time it is, starting back today. There's also a new Bass Pro Shop in town, which is kind of weird that a Bass Pro Shop comes to Tyler, Texas. But maybe that's just weird because I live in Tyler, Texas. And I don't feel like maybe Tyler's big enough for a Bass Pro Shop. But it's right on the outskirts of town, right in where an old Gander Mountain used to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the smallest Bass Pro Shop in that company. Anyway, me and Amanda were thinking about going and checking that out later, just to see. Let's see how much they're trying to overcharge for little old Tyler, Texas. Ooh, you know, my old phone would stop the music when I recorded. This is going to take some getting used to still. It is April 29th, 2025. It's Tuesday. Inadvertently had to stay late today. Went home for a little while for longer lunch. I forgot to schedule a closer today, so I fixed it by closing today. Headed home now. It's after 8, and I have not even ate. So I don't know if I'll walk today. So will I go for a walk after 8? After 8? I've heard that in a song somewhere. I don't know what it is. Dan Bull, that's who it was. Dan Bull. I used to watch him on YouTube. He was a British guy, and he rapped about video game stuff. Anyway, that's beside the point. I'm gonna try to go for a walk later. Might not happen because I'll work all day.
Plate. I've even seen him eat a Jaffa cake flavoured pasta bake, and after 8 even more instead of after 8. I wonder where exactly does he keep them all stashed away? The number crunching is too massive to extrapolate.
Hey, thanks for watching. Well, I really fell off on this. This is in November as I'm filming this part for videos back in April. I'm going to start trying to put a little more time into this again. I'm going to edit my backlog first before I start recording again. If you like the videos, you know, do the YouTube things. Hit subscribe, hit the button that looks like this. And before I leave, y'all want to see something real cool?